the NI Golf Podcast with Paul Kelly and Maurice J.
It certainly is. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be listening to the NI Golf Podcast episode
41.
People are complaining that we didn't do our usual intro last time.
You see, you shocked them with that old golf plays nonsense.
I know. I thought we were going to use that as our new theme tune, and then when I played it a few times, I thought, you know what, and watched the video more especially. It was just too much. It was just too crazy. What were they thinking of? On the programme this evening,
we'll be chatting to Lurgan Golf Club-based professional Zoe Allen, who was recently named a top 50 US kids coach.
In the world.
In the world is right.
We'll have all the latest pro and amateur news.
And we'll be hearing about the EuroPro Tour, which is returned to Ireland this year at Tulfarris Hotel and Golf Resort in County Wicklow.
And Paul has some exclusive breaking news about the Open at Royal Portrush.
It's big news.
You won't have heard this anywhere else, and it's on the programme very shortly.
The NI Golf Podcast, sponsored by Andrew Morris Golf. Have your swing analysed on TrackMan for a custom club fitting by our leading team of professionals.
So, the pro news, it's been just a couple of weeks since we did our last podcast, and in that time, the Phoenix Open has been on, the waste management, the AT&T...
Everybody gets wasted.
Everyone gets wasted at the management. The AT&T has been on as well. That Phoenix thing, I mean, that's...
Isn't it mental?
It's
200-odd thousand on one day alone.
216,818 to be precise.
Most of them smashed out of their head by about 3 o'clock.
216,818, and of that number, 18 were watching the golf. That was the 18.
Some setup. It's not a golf event, really.
It's a frat party.
That's
it's a
exactly
spring break.
Yeah.
It is a mass piss up.
Yeah. Yeah.
There can't be that many people in America who like golf.
No. Certainly not in Phoenix.
You know what I mean? 719,000 over the event. 216,800 odd on the Saturday, and it dropped to 64,000 on the Sunday. So they don't go for a golf.
It dropped to
64,000 on the Sunday.
Flipping hell.
From 216
good players.
I know. That's what I'm saying. They don't go for the golf. And who is the most famous person in golf from the Phoenix Open? Most famous person? Do you want me to give you a clue?
Go for it.
Do you want me to play you a wee clip?
Go for it.
Okay.
Do I regret it? No. Would I do it again? No. As long as a few people got a kick out of it, I mean, if you make people laugh, if you make them smile. I definitely feel bad for my mom. Sorry, Mom. And I know that sounds really cliche, but I do want to apologize to my mom. She did not enjoy that very much, especially knowing that I was in jail.
Especially going to jail.
Would that be the poor, demented sod who had a few too many beverages and decided he'd do a bit of streaking?
That's him. His name is Adam Stalmack.
What a poor
He spent 5 days in prison. And he blamed the alcohol, as
surprisingly enough.
And he just said to his mate, he says, "We've never seen a streaker. I wonder would anybody do it?" And then, actually, we should do it. Okay. And off he went. While his mate stood back and went, "All right, off you go. You charge on there, Adam, you wingnut." So he was the streaker. Is that it's been a long time since there was a streaker.
There was one at Chase Tiger, I think, at an event one day. Yeah, I know. Don't say anything. Be careful now. But yes, definitely there was one Chase Tiger event. I think it might have been an Open Championship day.
Was it?
I think so. I could be wrong here. I could be slurred.
Male or female?
Definitely a female. Definitely female. So yes, I think there has been the odd one, but certainly he was totally out of this tree.
And it basically encapsulated everything that the Phoenix Open is about.
Yeah. Can you even remember who won the event?
Can I remember?
Yeah. Because I can't.
Was it your man, Ches Reavy? Was it?
No, he got beat in the playoff, didn't he?
Oh.
He got beat in the playoff.
That's bad, isn't it? It was only like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. But the point of the matter is that shows you what the waste management's about. You spend more time talking about what's going on around it than the event itself. Now, the players all say it once a year, and that's all it can stick, and you can imagine why, because I think it got a bit rough and rowdy 3 times.
But it's only on the 16th and 17th.
No, I think it can get rowdy around some of the other greens.
Really? I thought the rest of the course looked pretty empty, as in that was the 18 people who were watching the golf. On the other holes.
Well, you can. Trouble is, you know what to say about things when there's big crowds and somebody talks, they can't hear it. But if you've only a few people, inebriated people at the side of a green talking loudly or making obscenities, you'll definitely hear them.
Yeah, well, it is basically an excuse for it.
Yeah,
you know. And you know what? Do you see if even 1% of that audience who attended take up golf as a result.
It's not a bad
That's
thing.
7,000 people taking up golf just because they went there.
Give it a go.
So you never know. All right, moving on to the AT&T then. We have some music for the AT&T.
That's Harry Potter.
The Wizard Potter. That's what they're calling him now.
You've been spending too much time working away.
He's called the Wizard now.
Something called Ted Potter
Ted Potter Jr., the Wizard. Yeah. Wow.
Fair play to him.
Where'd he come from?
He just hung in and hung in and hung in.
He hung in and hung in for 24 missed cuts in a row.
And then wins.
There was a stage in his career where he went through 24, not recently, but he had 24 missed cuts in a row.
I didn't know that.
246th in the world rankings, get into the AT&T.
Yeah.
Boom, gets a place in the Masters.
Journeyman, you see, that's what golf can throw up.
So he's the boy.
Week.
And it's not like he was under any pressure from Dustin Johnson, the previous winner.
Yeah.
From Jason Day.
Yeah, former world number one.
Who else was chasing? Mickelson was chasing him.
Yeah. So just a few good players.
A few good players.
And he just kept on grinding.
Which shows you what a stupid, ridiculous, nonsense game this is that we play.
At that level, Morris.
At every level. At every level. It is just so...
When it's your week, it's your week.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
When it's just so up and down.
Yeah.
It's so up and down. So well done to Ted Potter, the Wizard. Okay, we can do without Harry Potter.
Thank you.
Thank you, Harry. Off you go. So also at the AT&T, of course, the Irish contingent didn't do very well.
No,
not very well.
It was a bad week for the boys. Only Shane made the cut.
Yep.
G-Mac missed another cut. He has had a rough old time with his art.
G-Mac's is going through a wee spell.
Is that? Yeah.
He has, as far as I can remember, he hasn't made a cut this season yet on the PGA or indeed with the Dubai. Yeah. I think he's missed all the cuts so far.
And he won an Open Championship at Pebble Beach.
Yep. So he knows the course. He hasn't had too many under 70 rounds either. He's had 2 rounds sub 70 this time, and he's had an 80.
Oh.
He had an 80 on day 2 of AT&T. So
not good.
So he's not going through it. But then, obviously the conditions might have been a bit tricky on some of the days. It was a bit windy at times.
It was a wee bit, but it was still dry. There was a bit of run on the ground. Thought it might have suited him a bit, actually.
What did Shane finish on? I'm just going to look it up.
Shane had a very bad final round.
He had 75 or something, wasn't it? I'm just going to look it up on our website.
Oh, very good.
Because we're trying our best
to keep people informed.
We're trying our best to keep people informed of all the Irish pro touring players.
And if they go onto the nigolfpodcast.com website,
that's the one. Hopefully, we can't guarantee it'll be up to date all the time, but it should be close. So Shane had a final round 75. Yeah, he finished 5 under, tied for 43rd.
Yeah, when he was doing so well in the opening 2 rounds as well, but at least he could walk away with his head held high, whereas the other boys, Porrig, Dunners as well, Graham, they all missed out.
Yeah.
And one Mr. Rory McIlroy.
Let's hear what he had to say after his 3rd round on that. Don't mention it.
To be here at Pebble with this weather and to enjoy not just the last 3 days. We got here on Sunday night. He actually abandoned me on Monday to go play Cypress Point, which is understandable, but we had a great day at Pebble on Tuesday. We went and played Monterey on Wednesday, and then the last 3 days have been awesome. I wish I could have played a little bit better for him, and wish we would have both been around to play tomorrow, but it was a really cool few days, and even though the golf didn't quite go where we wanted it to, we still had a great time.
So talk about those 3 days of your golf. You're going to play the next 2 weeks. What do you take from the experience you had here, how you played, and build on those going into those 2 important weeks?
Yeah, for sure. I hit the ball well. I hit the ball well at Spyglass, and I scored well. I missed 2 greens yesterday. I only missed 1 fairway, and I shot 3 over, so that wasn't too good on the greens. And then today I hit some good shots. I mean, you followed us for most of the back 9. I hit some really good shots, and I just need a few putts to fall. And I think sometimes with these POA greens, if you start to get a little bit tentative with them, it just gets away from you. So I let the greens yesterday get into my head a little bit, and then it was hard to get out of that mindset. So a little bit of work over the next few days and get myself ready for Riviera.
So that's Roars. Just see.
There was something missing in that interview.
Which?
He didn't mention.
He didn't, but I wonder did I cut him off too early?
No.
Did I cut him off in his prime?
I don't know if he mentioned it.
Well, he said he had issues on the green.
Yes.
I think it was the poor grass, and and he said he had a few problems on day 2, and the greens kind of got into his head.
That's right.
And they didn't really go away.
Well, he had what was effectively a 4-putt. At one stage, he put it. Actually, it was a 5-putt.
It was a 5-putt.
But he was off the green, wasn't it?
No, it was a 5-putt. It was so it was a 5-putt. He was on the
He
green.
had 38 putts in that day.
He drove the green.
Oh God!
And then he had a big, massive raker, which wasn't bad. It went about 8 feet past, maybe.
And then that's when the wheels come off.
Yep. And you kind of have to wonder, what's going on? I mean,
it's not the first time he's done that.
I've done it.
Yeah, but I think he's had a 4-putt before.
It's 5.
I know, but at least that, you know what I mean, a 4-putt. And he's got a new putter in the bag for this week.
Saw that, yeah.
Yeah. So listen, I hope he doesn't start this again.
I don't think so.
I really don't.
I think that was just a bit of, just losing the head a wee bit.
Yeah.
I think that's basically the score there. So.
Well, I really hope that he has a good week this week now at the Genesis Open. So looking forward to what should be a good, entertaining week with the Tiger back in tow this week.
Yes, again, the mass hysteria that is Tiger.
And they're also playing, I think it's Tiger, Justin Thomas and Rory McIlroy.
Yep, and Tiger's been talking about playing with those two guys.
I'm here yesterday and we're kind of watching some of the stuff, and he asked me, when did I play in this tournament as an amateur? I said, I was 16. 1992. He says, that was the year before I was born. I'm sorry, but that really put things in perspective really fast to me. Rory, I played with Rory, I think, on Thanksgiving with his father, the medalist. He's off to a great start this year. I mean, he played really well in Abu Dhabi, Dubai. Justin's already won this year and won in Korea. This season. When he won in Korea. And, we're going to have a lot of fun. I think that we're all three of us are excited about playing with one another in this event. And I'm looking forward to the challenge of not only competing against those guys, but competing against the rest of the guys in the field.
Puts it into perspective, doesn't it?
How old he is, how long he's been around.
How long he's been around, yeah.
Yeah.
So he played that event when he was 16. That was his first start in the PGA Tour as an amateur at Riviera. And,
unbelievable.
And he got a flight with Justin Thomas, and his first time playing was the year before he was born.
Well, I think I like the Riviera. It's a nice golf course, so hopefully it sets up well for Roy this week, and he puts his bad bit of form behind him.
I'd say so.
I think also that Porrick and Shane and Graham are both in action. All three of them are in action this week again. So fingers crossed also for Graham and the two boys to start showing a bit of form.
It's a good field. There's 22 of the top 30 players in the world playing. Tiger's never done that well there.
Even though he loves it, he says.
Even though he loves it, yeah. He's runner-up a couple of times, but he's never nailed it.
Well, I don't know. Based on his last performance, you couldn't put money on him win it this time, but he is Tiger Woods, so you never know.
You never know. Just another other pro news. I just noticed today. Actually, I didn't hear about this until today. Bill Haas has withdrawn from the.
He was in a car crash.
He was in a car crash. It was a fatal car crash.
The driver of his Ferrari died.
Yeah. So Bill Haas has withdrawn from the tournament after being involved in a car crash.
He's very, very lucky.
He is. He's been released from hospital. He's going to head home. He's got some bruises and some swelling on his legs, but he's expected to make a full recovery.
Was there any word of whether that guy driving the car was a mate of his? Like, because what sort of relationship was it?
It's a family who's hosting him. It said it was the family that was hosting him.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, it's really bad, and he was 71, the driver. So obviously that's
going to take some time to get over.
Yeah, tee times for Thursday. Let's see, GMAX out at 6:11 p.m. our time on Thursday. Yeah. Rory's out at 6:22. Shane's out at 6:32, and Podrick's out at 6:53. So they're kind of all.
Yeah, I would say that the chances are you may get some Rory coverage.
Well,
solely because he's playing with Tiger Woods.
And because the coverage of Pebble Beach was crap.
Well, remember
on the first day
they were across three different courses.
I know, but if you're not going to do it right, don't do it at all. There are a couple of GoPros, stick them on the flag, that'll do. Get a bit of coverage. Goodness sake, we could do better with ours. The cameras that we've got. It was awful. I think you saw 2 shots from Rory on the Thursday.
Yeah, take that back to the production team over in America.
Yeah, and did you hear the quality of Tiger's clip? Goodness sake, PGA, sort it out.
Stick a microphone under his nose.
Stick a microphone instead of getting all these photographers.
Anyway,
teach them nothing.
Over on the European Tour this week, they're back in the Middle East for the NBO Oman Open. Darren Clark's in the field. Gavin Moynihan has made the trip from Australia, where he failed to make the cut. Do you know what? It was a terrible weekend for the Irish last weekend.
Good, yeah.
At the ISPS Honda World Super 6 event in Perth, and Kerry Deck, Abby Barnrat, yes,
Well done.
Won the Super 6 event to move back into the world's top 50. I love watching him. He plays the game the right way. Just turn and hit the crap out of it.
Staying with news about Rory, kind of with the Irish Open and stuff. Obviously, there was an announcement last week about the Irish Open and how it's going to be hosted by our various top players.
Well, it looks now that Paul McGinley's going to take on the hosting role from 2019 for a year. So he's going to do it 1 year. And then there's going to be a pool. Ireland's 4 major champions are all going to do a spell of hosting. So Darren Clark, Pádraig Harrington, Graham McDowell, and then back to Rory. So they'll all do a hosting session. I think it's a great idea. They're basing it on the British Masters.
Yeah, so are they sticking to the links policy?
Well, that is up for debate. Now, the feeling would be that this time next year, it'll definitely have to be in links because where the Open's going to be in Portrush, and there's some discussion there that County Sligo could be the venue, which would be brilliant for them. You know, it'd be great to see it go that far west. Stunning golf course, and they've done a lot of redesign work on over the last 3 or 4 years. Always hosts the West of Ireland Amateur Championship, where it snows on them invariably at the start of the year. But I think it's a great idea. Although I would say against that probably means that Rory's going to roll back slightly. Rory's foundation.
He's done it, you know.
He's the fair play to him. He's kept it going,
he's brought the tournament back. He is the effort and the profile that he's now given that event, the Rolex edition. You know, you can't underestimate what Rory's done for the Irish Open.
Yeah, and it was interesting that Paul McGinley, when he was speaking, interviewed a few times after this announcement, Paul was saying that, you know, really this is going to give Rory a chance really to concentrate next year. Because that's going to be a very important spell of golf, like the Irish Open, maybe the Scottish, and then the Open and Home Champ. So it's going to give him, he'll be able to have a wee breather and just play golf and not have to worry about all the hosting duties.
Well, I think we've teased enough about the Open. You have been doing some your bloodhound impression.
My journalism.
You're sniffing out the stories. A story that nobody else has picked up on other than Mr. Paul Kelly.
Thank you very much.
Short of the green himself. So what have you discovered about the Open?
What we have discovered, right. There was a press conference held on Monday, held with the RNA's CEO, Chief Executive, Martin Slumbers.
Yes.
And it was held by a number of journalists from across the UK and Scotland. Anyway, it was a rather wide-ranging discussion about all things.
Where was this?
In St Andrews.
Okay.
A wide-ranging discussion, amongst other things, was talk about how far golf balls are going, pace of play, all that sort of stuff.
How do you know? Were you there?
No, because they published a transcript.
Oh, right, okay.
And if people had read the transcript, which only nerds like me do, about 3/4 of the way down, there was a reference to Royal Portrush.
3/4 of the way down being about 250 pages.
Only a brief reference, but an interesting reference for people here. Actually, for people who are interested in the event itself. Because what became apparent was that they're going to consider capping the numbers of spectators that will be able to attend at Royal Portrush next in 2019.
Presumably every course would have its cap.
No, there are some
courses where you can, like the Phoenix Open.
Yeah, well, there are some venues. Some of the Open venues are that big and that wide that there's no cap. They just let people come, okay? But they never had to worry about it. The difference is they're having to think numbers this time. Because
we're going to be such heavy supporters of the Open when it comes here. Because people are going to be going buck mad for it.
Because of the historic nature of it. The first time outside of Scotland and England in 70-odd years. Back at Royal Portrush. Rory hopefully playing well. They look back at the Irish Open. Remember the Irish Open? 130-odd thousand people there. Sold out. First time ever in European Tour history. They couldn't put anybody else in. And they're looking at basically spectator enjoyment. So they're looking at a set number each day, probably, that they will try and keep it below.
Which is?
I would guess somewhere above 45,000. Maybe between 45, 50-ish. Okay.
That's from your educated guess.
Educated guess, based solely on the fact that when Rory won the Open Championship in Hoylake in 2014, 42,000 people were there on a Sunday. So extrapolate what would happen if Rory was to be leading the Open Championship on a Sunday.
Times 10.
They would have to cap it. So there'd just be health and safety.
What was did they have a capacity for the Irish Open, or what were the numbers?
I think the capacity for the Irish Open was not 35.
I was thinking 30 something.
It was about 30 something, and they had to stop selling tickets at one stage because that many people were looking to go.
So
this is a similar idea.
Okay, but could it be as low as 35,000 tickets a day?
I don't know. They'll have to make a decision, Morris, on that. They're actually working on it now. Martin Slumbers said that it was an issue that they were given serious consideration to, and they were currently working on it now. Obviously, you're working to see how you can get people around safely.
Yep.
You're working to make sure that spectators that do go have a good experience and aren't walking over top of each other. You're working to make sure that if something happens, you can get people in and out of the course properly. So they have to have all that in mind. And also the problem is, Morris, that they're building the infrastructure as they're going along. Whereas a lot of these traditional courses, the infrastructure's already there. So, like, they could say 35,000, and then when they've actually built it, or they could say 65,000. Then when they build the grandstands, we can't, we're going to have to roll that back.
So where you've spoken to Royal Portrush?
I've been in contact with both Royal Portrush and the RNA, and it's no secret. They're not hiding this.
Yeah.
But it's just sort of confirmation that this is how big could be. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're thinking in the back of your head, Irish Open, don't. Think Phoenix. You know, this is how big an event this could be. It should be.
That drunk? Irish people there? Surely not. Well, hang on. Where did the 35,000 figure come from for the Irish Open?
Well, that was just based on by the European Tours, health and safety people as well and stuff like that. There. No, and by the way, I could be wrong because do you remember they definitely had to cap it for Royal County Down?
Yeah.
So maybe it was mixed up. Well, maybe mixed up there, but it was a sellout so they only had a finite amount of tickets and they sold them out for 2012. At Royal County Down, they had to make a cap it, and it might have been 30,000 Morris, because that was a health and safety issue, okay? And they're currently underway putting the infrastructure in for Royal Portrush, and over the next while, they'll have to make a determination on the numbers that they think they can get around the place. And by the way, once they know, they'll have to announce it, because the word is that there's already quite a lot of interest in next year's event. You can't buy tickets yet. Tickets will go on sale probably as soon as Carnousties finish this year, and then they'll be able to have a look at it again. So I would suggest, if you are interested in tickets for the Open Championship,
you may be getting,
go on to the Open Championship, the RNA's website, and you can pre-register interest, because you know, if they're looking at it and starting to think we might need to cap numbers because things could get out of hand, spectators wise. Imagine, you know, because we're traditionally very bad in this part of the world for planning ahead. There's a certain amount of, we'll wait for see what the weather's going to happen, and then we'll take it from there. So it's great news.
Did the people at the RNA or indeed Royal Portrush give you any indication of the number at all?
No, they weren't prepared to, because they're considering it.
They're still actually working it out.
They're still actually working it out. But as I said, just look at what happened with Rory at Hoylake, and then try and, you know, gauge it yourself, you know. Put it this way. Last year was a record figure that attended a birthday. Do you remember when Jordan Spieth was sitting it all over the place? I won that. 235,000 people attended, right? So the expectation is, just based on that, it's going to be above it. Over the course of 7 days, you can sort of just average it out, you know.
And you can read more on Mr. Kelly's story in the Belfast Telegraph on Friday.
Indeed, yes.
At clubstohire.com, you can take all the hassle out of your golf travel and rent your clubs before you fly. Clubs to Hire offer the very latest sets from just £32 per week, including the brand new M4 clubs from TaylorMade. And Clubs to Hire have just opened 3 new locations in Australia. That's 26 locations worldwide. So wherever you're travelling to play golf, choose the easy option and hire your clubs at clubstohire.com.
And staying with the Open, the RNA revealed on Monday that the 150th Championship will be staged at St Andrews, of course, in 2021. So that means, in order, Carnoustie this year, Royal Portrush, Royal St George's in 2020, and the Owl Course in 2021. And the good news is that they have opened the qualifying for the Open, so we may well get our applications in.
You can get them in any time, yeah.
Online entries for regional and final qualifying events ahead of the 147th Open are now available. Sign up online at theopen.com. Let me get my mouse and do it right now.
Yeah, as soon as that came out, you did tweet that you were going to go ahead with. On the LET, J.I. Shin won the Canberra Classic, earning the grand total of, have a guess. What did this woman, who's a multiple winner on professional golf, what did she win?
Is this the Ladies European Tour?
Yeah, what did she win?
On the Ladies European Tour?
Yeah.
Prize money?
Yeah. Top prize.
Top prize. 50 grand.
14. There you go. Do you remember when we were talking to Maureen Medill?
Yeah, bit of a difference.
And she was so concerned for the future. There you go. Isn't that shocking? Anyway, on the LPGA, the ASPS Honda Women's Australia Open is on this week. They'll not be playing for 14 grand. And another ladies golf news, Stephanie Meadow from Jordanstown. Great to see Stephanie back playing, fit and well. She fared rounds of 71, 71 and 66 to win on the Cactus Tour. And Stephanie's going to be playing on the Symmetra Tour mostly this season.
She is indeed. Moving on.
Yep. All the amateur news, Mark.
Yes. Oh, yes. Peter O'Keefe, Colin Campbell, Gareth McGimsey and Adrian Morrow have been named in the GBNI team to face the USA in the Concession Cup next month. The tournament will be hosted at the Concession Club in Florida from the 16th to the 21st. Players will compete over 3 days of match play formats in foursomes, fourball and singles. Each team will be comprised of 14 players, separated into 3 categories. 6 mid-am members, aged 25 to 54.
That range now, by the way.
Sorry?
We fit into that range now.
Sadly, yes. 6 senior members, aged 55 and older, and 2 senior members, aged 65 and older again.
Very good, yeah. So, talk now about the Irish Provincial Championships. If you want to check out and start entering those, you can. It's on golfnet.ie. I'm talking about entries into events. The Faldo Series is back to Loch Earn this year with a new date and world ranking points on offer. The Faldo Series Northern Ireland Championship is on from July the 18th to the 20th, and for full entry and for all the details, log on to the Faldo Series website.
See, just when you're talking about the ladies tour and how much prize money there is.
Yeah.
I noticed an event which was a mixed event.
Yes.
Have you heard?
That was before. That was the previous event.
That was the previous event.
When we were off.
Yes, we were off. The Oates Vic Open.
Yes.
In Melbourne, Australia.
They have the same amount of money.
Same amount of money. There's a men's tournament. There's a ladies tournament. They run at the same time. It's the same amount of money. Tiger Woods was second at one stage. Sorry, I missed out a word. Tiger Woods' niece
Cheyenne
was second at one stage.
Yes.
Minjee Lee came first. She won 70 grand.
Yes.
Simon Hawkes won, and he won 70 grand.
Yeah.
But what a good idea.
Yes, that is the future.
But it is. It's what a good idea,
yeah.
Right? Because they're all playing the same course.
Yeah.
You should actually do it like hole about or 4-ball about.
Oh, that's getting really...
Absolutely. Totally mix it up. I think that would be a great format.
Well, I think, particularly, look at it like this. For the ladies' tour, it's important. It's almost vital. Because that gives them the sponsorship and the access to the coverage. For the men's tours, now that was mostly like the PGA of Australia event. So you didn't have a lot of the top world stars there. Yeah. But, you know, it's look at the amount of money that lady won.
Yes, but imagine having the top players playing a tournament like this, where the 4-ball comes through and it's Tiger, Justin, and Rory, and behind it is
Lexi.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you know, it would just be amazing.
Yeah, I think,
and they're playing the same course, the same time. Yeah. Obviously, the tees are different, but when you're coming down to the greens, it's exactly the same. Yeah. And what would that not make a great TV show?
I'm surprised that a sponsor, Morris, or a big producer hasn't put something together and tried that.
I wouldn't. We wouldn't have the dough in the NI Golf podcast just yet.
That would be major dough.
Anyway, the opening event of the Ulster Branch Winter Series is on at Port Stewart Golf Club this Friday, the 16th of February. The Winter Series is open to under-18s and a field of 70 is scheduled to take part. 2 more rounds have been set for foil golf on the 26th of March and Galgorm Castle on the 29th of April.
Yeah, and Sport Ireland recently revealed a funding package for golf amounting to €758,000. The breakdown for golf is the Confederation Golf in Ireland. They'll receive $233,000. Women in sport, they'll receive $15,000. The high performance, so that's all your top elite amateurs at both the women's and the men's, the GI and the ILG, $410,000. And then the World Amateur Teen Championships, and we'll talk about this later in the year. It's going to Carton House this year. It's going to be a huge amateur event. There's $100,000 been set aside for the staging of it.
This is almost as if we produce this program together and actually have, like
conversations,
because this is a spooky coincidence. But something popped up the other day, and I thought I must ask a boy who's won these committee kind of things and is basically a nerd. That would be you, Mr. Kelly. By your own admission earlier, it's you.
Yes.
Scottish Golf National Affiliation Fee.
Yes.
Right? Yes. I had never heard of the Scottish Golf National Affiliation Fee.
Yes, okay.
But I presume it does exactly the same as what you've just read out for the Sport Ireland.
No. No. Okay. Whenever you pay your club membership fee at Hollywood Golf Club,
yes,
you pay a GUI affiliation fee.
Yes.
That's the same.
That's what I said.
No. Sport Ireland is a grant from a governing body. It's not from the GUI. The GUI fees are on top of that.
That's what I meant.
Okay, no, right, that's different.
I meant the money goes to the money goes to the GUI, yes, and then they do the similar kind of thing.
Yes. Well, the same thing. The Scottish Golf would also use their subs for a certain amount of things, and then it applied to the Scottish Government for grant funding to do other things as well.
Okay, because there's a big row about how much it's being put up.
Scottish Golf was really in trouble. You know, if you think things are bad here in terms of numbers dropping away, it's the administration side's a problem in Scottish Golf at the minute. And there was a plan to raise it to 24, and that caused all sorts of rows.
Yes, it's currently at £11 something.
Yeah. Okay.
And they were going to put it up to 24 because they wanted to raise like 4 million or something.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And there's been some kind of halfway compromise now. It's going to be 15.
And I think we pay here, I think it's £19.
Right.
£19.50, because what it has is there's a GUI levy for the main body, and then there's an Ulster branch levy on top of that as well to fund, and all that money goes towards funding events, funding competitions,
the elite players,
all that sort of stuff. So,
which I don't think too many golfers would have an issue with.
No. I've been to many of the ADM's annual delegates meeting, and it is discussed regularly. And they have held during the recession, they held it back, held it at a certain level, and they've gradually increased it again because, just like everything else, everything goes up in price. There would be some debate, I suppose, if you're getting into the real nerdy discussions, about, should a governing body be spending, X amount of money on elite amateurs instead of spending much more on developing the grassroots golf? Yeah. You could talk about that till you're blue in the face, but the current thinking is, you saw the breakdown of the grant money, and it's similar in terms of how they spend their own funding as well.
And golf club members pay this.
All golf club affiliated members pay it. You could join Hollywood and not pay a GUI fee. That you wouldn't have an official GUI handicap.
Okay.
Most golf clubs tie it all in one package. But there are some clubs, proprietary-owned clubs, where people can play and not ever have a handicap.
And society players who rock up and play green fees, they don't have to pay...
Don't need to have a handicap. That's what societies are all about. You set your own society handicaps, as we both know.
I'm just wondering how we can get a few more bob for grassroots golf.
Yeah. Well,
could you hit the society golfers for an extra quid every time they play?
Well, you could. Yes, I suppose every club, if they wanted to, could do that. But remember, clubs want business, so it's all about getting as many societies in as possible, and they're competitive.
Could the GUI not say there is now a £1 levy on every green fee?
GUI have no jurisdiction over what a club decides to spend and what a club decides to price its own rates at.
But could there not be is there an affiliation of North and South golf clubs?
The GUI is all Ireland body.
So could that not be a motion at the next AGM?
No, because
where all the golf clubs agree, yes, we think this is a good idea,
but society golfers would not. You've got to remember.
But they have no choice. If they want to play golf, every golf club signs up to it. They all get hit with £1.
But.
And it's going to grassroots golf. What's the issue?
Well, yes, you could
look at it like a charitable donation to further the game that you love so much.
That sounds like a very altruistic approach to things.
Hey, you never expected it from me, did you?
And as we know, it's a business just like anything else.
The African Amateur Championship, Alex Gleeson on 4 under and Keelan Rafferty on 3 under lead the Irish Challenge after 2 rounds. The leaders are on 6 under par as we speak.
Right now. And finally, we're finishing the amateur news on a high. Our VP of Programming, Olivia Mahaffey, she's earned her first individual win in college golf. Brilliant news for Olivia. Fair play to Olivia. Part of
honorary VP, even though she's never actually accepted the role.
She was given the role.
She was given the role.
Yeah, she was given the role.
Whether she wanted it or not.
Yeah. Okay. So she was playing for Arizona State. They played on Monday and Tuesday, and she finished joint winner with Caitlin Papp and Lilia View in the Northrop Gunham Regulatory Tournament, I think. And she finished on 1 under par. And that's her first individual success. So well done, Olive. Congratulations. All the hard work over the winter's done all the power good.
Yes, indeed. And we mentioned a couple of weeks ago, we mentioned that the Modest Golf are taking on Galgorn again. They're going to be doing the Challenge Tour event up at Galgorn, and tickets are now registerable.
Very good.
And here's what we had to tell you.
one of the premier Challenge Tour events of the year. The NI Open, hosted by Modest Golf, returns to Galgorm Castle from the 16th to the 19th of August. Register now for your free tickets at niopen.golf.
Now, when MJ and I were growing up, which is a very, very long time ago, it wasn't a done thing for young children to be running around golf courses. But thankfully attitudes are changing, and one of those driving changes is Lurgan's Zoe Allen. Zoe was recently named as one of the US Kids Golf Top 50 Teachers in the world. And she joins us now on the line. Hiya, Zoe.
Hello there.
Well, congratulations on the big award. It's always nice to be recognised.
Thank you very much.
What was it? I think you had a big gala dinner over at the PGA show.
Yeah, well, it wasn't quite a gala dinner, but US Kids did put on a fantastic award ceremony. So it's an award that, as a US Kids coach, any coach can put in for it. It's one of those things that you don't really think, you're going to get quite so soon. So it was a big surprise, but delighted to find out that I was awarded one of the top 50 coaches.
Wow, and how do you go about getting that kind of award? Did you have to do tests, or what way did it work?
So in terms of the US Kids coaching program, I became a US Kids certified coach actually a year ago at the PGA show. So basically they have a specialised sort of system for ways to teach kids through sort of games-based learning, and they have a fantastic learning program which consists of booklets and different levels. And as the kids pass levels through the booklets, they're awarded badges and pins. So basically I introduced the learning program last year at Lurgan Golf Club, awarding kids with the pins, and they're, slowly but surely progressing through the levels. So it's a matter of trying to implement their teaching way at your facility, but also trying to sort of be active on social media, obviously, promote the golf clubs that they have in terms of being sort of the right weight for kids and juniors. So it's really trying to sort of develop US Kids, if you like, as a golf coach, but making your golf coaching better for the juniors at your facility. So it was basically an application that you fill out, and do you have short courses for kids? Do you have shortened tees for kids? Things that you're doing to try and make it junior friendly.
And how many juniors have you got down at Lurgan, and are they all enjoying this slightly different way of coaching?
Yes, they are. So we actually, last year at O'Douglas Captain's Day, we had, I think, 113 juniors that played.
Wow.
So, now that's from the youngest we have are 4 years old, and that's obviously right up to 18. So, definitely it is helping at Lurgan. And a few of the kids as well that would do some of the programs aren't necessarily just from Lurgan, so it's quite nice that we're sort of bringing in kids from slightly further afield as well. Whether it be for the program or whether they haven't quite joined just yet, they're trying to kind of get a feel for it first. So it's quite nice that you've sort of got a broad spectrum of kids coming from all over.
Now, listen, I did say in the intro that, when certainly when we were growing up, me and Morris, back in the days of black and
dark
white,
ages,
children weren't really that accepted and welcomed at golf course, particularly if you were very young.
Or if you're called Rory, you're all right.
But that was a special exemption. But, how early, in your sort of estimate opinion, how early? I see you've got kids at 4 years old. You don't think that's not too early as far as you're concerned?
Well, definitely not. I actually have a group at the minute. I call them the Minions. So they have yellow golf clubs that we use, and they would be as young as 3 and 4. Now, in terms of what we kind of cover, you're not trying to sort of drill into them how to hold the club and how to swing. It's really just an experience. They're coming along, you're showing them, but you're kind of letting them sort of explore and see if they can kind of work it out for themselves.
Okay.
So those ones, you're not trying to, take their hands off and place them back on. If they want to hold it, upside down or hands back to front, or you kind of let them do it. If they can get the ball moving forward, they're having a good time. So it's sort of an introduction, if you like. You're not trying to teach them the mechanics of the swing at that age, but just a fun experience that they're going to, want to come back and want to try and learn a bit more.
And stay active.
That's it.
And how did you find yourself sort of moving into this area, Zoe? Is that an area you always were interested in, or did you just see a wee niche there for yourself?
Yeah, no, I want to say, whenever I first started out coaching, kind of at Lurgan, we have a driving range facility there, which is, perfect for kind of, the coaching setup. And I guess it was sort of the first kind of groups I started taken were mostly junior coaching groups. And, you know, looking back now to my first group, say 2-3 years ago, it was very different to how it is now. So I guess you kind of evolve into, you know, into finding better ways to coach, finding better ways to sort of help kids without giving too much instruction, and more sort of in the games, letting them explore and work things out themselves. So I guess, I don't know if I really saw myself here, but I'm really enjoying what I'm doing now, if you know what I mean. So it's kind of, it's ever changing. You're picking something up new every day and trying to kind of develop it, and, you know, try and always think of ways to improve.
And do you think there'll be more US kids golf coaches here in Northern Ireland? Are more sort of pros picking it up?
Yes, well, we actually had, so I obviously did mine at the PGA show last year in Orlando, but US kids did come to Ireland in November time. So we ran a coaches seminar. So the two guys that would have taken myself, John Godwin and John Bryan from US Kids, they actually came to Carton House and we ran a seminar. So if I remember right, I think there were 15 pros. Now they were from the north and the south.
Very good. Yeah.
That became US Kids certified. So it's a start. And the feedback was very, very positive. I think they couldn't believe that there was such a nice program for kids with, you know, showing you games, showing you ways to sort of use the booklets and reward the kids with their badges, and sort of what good it sort of would do for the youth, junior golf.
Well, Zoe, listen, finally, I believe you've a bit of a competition or a few events running now in the spring. Give us a few details of that.
Yeah. Sure. So basically, the US Kids coaching side is one side to it. They also obviously run tournaments. I'm not sure if you're aware, they have one of the biggest tournaments in the world, the World Championships, which they hold every year at Pinehurst. Now that is obviously, you got to qualify to make it to Pinehurst, but it all starts off at a local level. So US Kids have got me on board to run the very first local tour in all of Ireland and the UK.
Very good.
So we are calling it the North of Ireland Local Tour. It is a spring local tour. It consists of 6 events. Some of the courses on the agenda, we've got Ardglass, Ballycastle, Allen Park, Shandon Park, Galgorm Castle, and the Tour Championship then will be held at Lurgan. So these are for kids aged from 5 right up to 14. And the good thing about these tournaments is US Kids always set the yardages sort of equivalent to a kid's age division. So girls and boys play from different tees. A boy 7 will play different tees to a boy 9 or 10. So it's quite nice that it's a sort of kid-friendly setup. So it's exciting.
People can find out details where?
Yeah, details are on the US Kids Golf website. In the tournament section. Now we are classed as international, so on the international section is local tours, but it is called the North of Ireland Local Tour.
And if anyone wants to get a hold of yourself, Zoe, it's just for the Lurgan Golf Club website, is it?
Or on my own website, zoeallengolf.com.
Fantastic.
And you can check that out. Yeah.
Well, a great accolade indeed. Top 50 golf coaches in the world for the US Kids Golf. Congratulations on that, and thanks for taking the time to chat to us this evening.
No problem. Thanks very much.
Cheers, Zoe.
Thank you.
Thanks, Zoe. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Get the best prices on every round of golf with Hot Deals Tee Times exclusively from Golf Now. Available at more than 1,600 golf clubs throughout the UK and Ireland. Hot Deals save you up to 80% on thousands of tee times daily. Find the flame and save every time you play with Hot Deals, only from Golf Now.
The EuroPro Tour is returning to Ireland in 2018 with an event at Tulfarris Hotel and Golf Resort in County Wicklow. It's happening in late August. Golf Business Development Manager at Tulfarris, Pat Barrett, joins us now to tell us a bit about the venue and the event.
Hiya, Pat. How's things with you?
Very good, Paul. Thanks very much for having me on.
No problem, Pat. Now, for people up in this part of the world, and certainly maybe wider across in Ireland, tell us a wee bit about Tulfarris and sort of a bit about the course and a bit about the challenge that sort of the players will face.
No bother at all. Tulfarris is a hotel and golf resort, so it was in receivership up to 2016, and it was being run for the banks by a management company called the Prem Group, who manage various hotel properties around the UK and Ireland, and indeed into Europe. They bought the property in 2016, and they have a significant investment plan for not only the course but the hotel and the resort itself. A 3-year plan, somewhere in the region of $6.5 million they're putting into developing the golf course, the hotel, building a spa and stuff like that. not only infrastructure, but then they're investing in people. Like they've had myself join as the business development manager for golf, just driving golf business and bringing events such as the EuroPro Tour to Tulfarris. But they've also hired one of the Northern Ireland's finest in Simon Thornton as our tournament professional to help on the marketing side and to help Simon's playing career and stuff like that. So it's all positive. It's all good. The course itself sets up well as a championship golf course. It hosted the AIB Seniors Open in 2000, I think, somewhere around that. So it's well capable of hosting a championship venue. It measures just short of 7,200 yards off the back sticks. It's set over 3 peninsulas around Blessington Lakes, which is about 30 minutes from Tala, 45 minutes from Dublin City, in Wicklow. And it'll prove to be a good test for the pro golfers coming over from the UK and around Ireland, you know.
Pat, I've never been down to Tulfarris. I'm just looking at photographs of it currently online here. Boy, that's a stunning looking golf course.
It is stunning. That's a good word for it. We had Daniel Godding, the CEO of EuroPro Tour, came over to visit us just there before Christmas to just get a look at the site. I've ran a EuroPro Tour event last year, and I met Dan, and Dan said to me, when I wanted the EuroPro Tour to come to Tulfarris, he said, "Do you think the course will be good enough?" You know, and I just said, "It will be." And he looked at the pictures like that, and he came over and he was just dumbfounded with the views and the scenery, and he just said that the Sky Sports cameras will absolutely love it.
Well, it's very picturesque. The only problem is water. There's just too much of it. If you could fill some of that in, it'd be great.
Yeah, and to be fair, it's where there's water on 11 of the holes. It doesn't really come in directly to play on a whole lot of them, unless you're as good a golfer as me, when you'd be very errant.
That's what I was about to say now, Pat. Come on now. It doesn't really come into play. Now hold on. We all know that for most hackers, it just attracts golf balls.
It does. It's like a magnet. It's like a magnet.
So,
well, it is. Like, and to be fair, it's as I said, it's just under 7.2 off the back sticks, which is it's a really good top championship golf course. But the course it's a resort course. So yes, we're going to have a EuroPro Tour event there in August, and we're going to have the PGA Challenge Tour in the Irish regions there in early July.
Brilliant.
So it sets up for those type of events to give the pros a good challenge. But what we have to remember is that it's a resort course.
Yeah.
We do an awful lot of business with societies, green fees, residential packages. So what we do is we have to be able to set the course up for the regular golfer like you and I that will come down and enjoy a round of golf down there. And it won't take 5 or 6 hours. It's a good 4.5 hour track. And it can be shortened up to just about 6.2 or 6.3, and it's still a test off those tees, you know.
I would say on a nice day that would be one of the best rounds of golf in Ireland. Just looking at it, it kind of reminds me a bit of Lough Erne, a bit of Conquerwood.
Yeah.
It looks a wee bit flatter than both of those, so that would be a nice day out.
Yeah,
well, it is. It's a lovely walk through, and the beauty about the course and the course layout is it comes back to the resort every 3 or 4 holes. So.
You can get another burger, another beer.
7 passes the clubhouse, 9 passes the clubhouse, 12, 15. So plenty of opportunity to stop in for a quarter.
That's what I was just saying, yes. Every time a beer and a burger, we'd be laughing.
Now you have it, yeah.
But I suppose what you're hoping for, Pat, is that this event helps raise the profile of the place, and then maybe on to bigger and better things?
No, you have it. What we've done is we've signed up to a 3-year deal with EuroPro Tour. So it's not a one-hit wonder. It's a long-term plan. So we have the Irish Masters and the EuroPro Tour 2018, 2019 and 2020. So that's done and dusted, and that's locked in. And you've hit the nail on the head, Paul. It's about building the profile of Tulfarris.
Yeah.
Tulfarris has been in receivership. It's missing a bit of TLC over the last 2, 3, 4 years, and what we have to do is we've got to get that back. As I said, there's significant investment plans. We've closed down a number of bunkers. We've a full sanding program gone in to dry out the course a little bit, and work's done on a new clubhouse, new changing area for ladies and gents, a new spa area in the hotel and stuff like that. So it all adds to the experience for the visitor coming. And what we need to do is we need to get people down to play the course.
Yeah.
down to employ the Tulfarris experience and then to come back again and again. That's what we're trying to achieve.
Excellent. Well, Pat, listen, I really appreciate the time. Come talk to us. Did I say that? No?
Almost.
Pat, thanks very much for taking the time to talk to us this evening. We'll wish you all the very best of it, and you never know, I might get Morris to get into his car and drive that far south one of these days.
Gents, you're more than welcome to come down anytime. I'd love to have you down there.
Cheers, Pat. All the best.
Look after yourself.
Thanks for having me on.
All the best. Thanks, now.
Bye-bye.
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 Morris J's 5 before 50 challenge, kindly supported by TaylorMade. For information on the very latest equipment, visit tailormadegolf.co.uk.
By the way, Morris, happy birthday.
Thank you.
You've passed the big 5-0.
Which is why we're playing the 5 before 50.
Because now you're 50 and a wee bit.
Now I'm 50 and a tiny wee bit, and the 5 before 50 challenge has come to an end, and it was a resounding failure. When was my birthday? Tuesday before last.
Yes.
We went up, myself and Phil went up and up the driving range, and we drowned our sorrows with a bottle of very fine Chateauneuf de Pape. And he commiserated with me, and I commiserated with him, and having put up with me for 14 months. And then we started the new challenge, 5 during 50.
Oh, it never stops.
So, so it's now 5 during 50.
Very good.
It was probably a bit of a stretch, thinking that
you could do it.
Category 1 could be achieved in 14 months.
Yes.
Bit of a stretch. Did drop 6 shots in a year, which wasn't bad. Another 6 this year will be nice.
Yeah.
If I can do that again, I'll be down to, lowest was 12.4, so I'll be down to 6.4. I'll take that.
You take that.
I'll take 6.
Yeah.
If it's
you've
5,
been hard at work since the start of the new year.
I've been hard at work all winter. Yes, and things are starting to move okay, and we're starting to get there, so Phil's been working hard with me on a few things, and I've been practicing hard and getting a very sore back, and there's a visit to the physio coming anytime soon.
But you also have gone a wee bit high tech this week.
Yes, well, I went to see Michael McGivern up at Beaver, because I was actually asking on the NI Podcast Twitter page, does anybody know of a 3D golf swing analysis place that you can actually rent commercially? Because obviously there's one in Jordanstown.
Yes, that's state of the art.
Students and research and all that, so you can't really do it commercially. Yeah. So, and back came a lady saying, Mr. McGivern, is your man? I went, great, it's only up the road.
Yeah.
So, booked in with Michael, went down to see him, and I kind of wanted to sort of do photographs and put up pictures of the report and the swing thing and and the robots and all that kind of stuff. But I got too carried away with the whole thing, so I didn't get a chance to take any photographs or do any video or do any audio or just doing the thing, right? So basically, it was it's one of these 3D swing analysis things. So you get covered in sensors. There's like 18 sensors go on you, right? And they basically go everywhere. Virtually.
Okay.
And then away you go, you hit a few balls, and up comes the data on the screen. Now, the data...
Do you get like the wee 3D? Do you know you see the wee 3D people?
Oh, yes, there's a wee 3D man.
Wee stick man.
Yes, there's a wee stick man. Oh, brilliant. That's what I wanted. I wanted to sort of put the photo... Here's me as stick man.
Okay.
And you know what the brilliant thing about this is? All the stick men are slim. It takes about 4 stone off you. It's great. There's no belly or anything. You look like an athlete. No matter how bad the swing is, you still look like an athlete. And then you see the swing.
Yeah.
So basically, there's 18 sensors. There's like 1 on each hand, 1 on each wrist, 1 on each forearm. Yeah. 4 across your shoulders, 2 across your hips, 2 on your thighs, 2 on your ankles, 2 on your feet, and 1 on the club.
Very good.
Basically, it's you're all covered. And then whenever you get them all set up, you wave at the screen, and then you see yourself waving back as your stick man.
It's brilliant, yeah.
And away you go, right? So it generates data. It generates like more data than you could. Just ridiculous.
Swing a sticker.
Basically, ridiculous amounts of data that is like what. Yeah. And the way I can describe it is, down the right-hand side of the screen, there's like sets of numbers, right? And the numbers that are in blue on the side of the screen are Tour Pro averages.
Okay.
Right? And ranges. So it'll be like 13 degrees to 24 degrees, for example, certain parts of their body are rotating or whatever, right?
Okay.
So these are the tour averages. And then the next column is you.
Oh, no.
And if there's an issue with the stat, if it falls outside the range of the pro, it lights up in red.
Okay.
And there are 75 parameters.
Okay.
And I had about 73 red lights.
I was just thinking that, but Maurice, surely nobody goes up there.
73 red lights, what's going on?
Surely nobody goes up there and gets into all those parameters.
Well, I'm sure there's some. But so you know, there's so much stuff, and what that does then, that's up to Michael and a pro to interpret what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, they can see already from your swing what's going on, and if you know anything about your own swing, you'll be able to tell them what's going on.
Exactly.
But then it gets corroborated with the 3D data, and you can absolutely go, yep, you were saying there's a problem with your hip rotation. There you go. There's your hip rotation.
Exactly.
And there's a problem with your hands in front of the ball. Yes, your hands aren't in front of the ball. And it's all there in black and white. You know, you can see a lot of it in video as well.
Yeah.
But when you have, I just think that when you have the stats, it's just like a rubber stamp. And told you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no grey areas. So that, I basically did it for the crack. I just did it to have something to talk about in the podcast.
Yeah.
To write up on the blog and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go back up again, take it one wee stage further, and then, you know, that's just for a bit of crack.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. And some of the things that I kind of knew I was doing wrong, I was doing wrong, funny enough.
Yeah.
So all 73 of them.
And anybody can hire this, go up to Michael and hire this. This is part of his swing room, isn't it?
It's part of his swing room.
It's a lovely facility.
He's got the gear, and anybody can go up and do it. You book in, the way you go. The scariest number, probably, was, well, there's this thing called what's it called now? Kinematic sequence.
Yes, that sounds good, yeah.
There's this thing called your kinematic sequence.
Yeah.
And this is basically how your body works or rotates through your golf swing.
Okay,
right.
Yes.
So basically, and it shows you where the impact happens. There's a big line appears where the impact happens, and then how your body is meant to sort of wind up to that impact.
Okay.
Right? So the first thing it's meant to go...
Take the club back away from you.
But on your downswing, right. So the first thing it's meant to go is your hips, right. So you're basically there's a wee shift of weight, the ankle maybe a wee bit, and then your hips go. So the first thing, so you can see, so the red line is your hips.
Okay.
Then it's kind of your midriff and your chest.
Yeah.
Then it's the arms, and then it's the club.
Finally, the club.
That kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So they're all meant to be like wee curves, and they're all meant to be sort of one after the other. So, you know, the hips go, the shoulders go, the turn comes.
Everything in sequence.
And then there's a wee rise for your hips, there's a wee rise for your thing. All mine were in the same place.
You just exploded all in.
You just
exploded at the ball.
Apart. Everything goes at the same time. Boom!
How you time anything's a miracle.
So that's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
Right? That's your kinematic sequence. That was quite interesting.
Yeah.
So that was one of them. So then the next thing that was pretty revealing was chest. Right?
Okay.
So the average, I really can't remember the numbers.
Okay.
Right. But the average Tour Pro at impact is somewhere, I can't remember, but I think it's somewhere between 13 degrees and 18 degrees open.
Okay.
Right. So if you imagine 0 degrees is your chest square.
Yeah. Okay.
Right to the target line.
Yeah.
As they're impacting, their chest is open by 13 to 18 degrees.
Almost face.
So if you're a right-hander, it's round to the left, right?
Yeah.
But I think, now I can't remember.
Yeah.
However, the disturbing fact of things.
You're going the opposite direction.
Yes.
What? No way.
I'm not going the opposite direction, but I am going the opposite direction in a way. I'm 7 degrees closed at impact.
See, your chest is actually facing.
My chest.
Your back is nearly facing the.
No, basically I'm here, closed.
Yeah,
the arms are ahead.
This works well on a podcast.
I know, but I'm trying to.
You starting up short, but.
So basically, if you imagine, then my chest is turned 7 degrees to the backwards away from the target, and my arms are at impact. Oh. So I'm kind of there.
Yeah.
Right, and then turning through.
Oh my God!
Right? So it's
lucky you haven't dislocated something.
Exactly. That's why I did do my back end properly. Right. Yeah. So that's meanwhile my hips they're already turned. So actually, I actually have turned my hips a bit.
Yeah.
But my chest was closed at impact, and it's like, and this is the thing that Phil has been telling me for a year and a half. Turn your shoulders. Turn your shoulders. I just did them, but turn them more.
Yeah.
Right. All that stuff.
Yeah.
So, see, I'm getting hyper now, but it's just...
We love all this data stuff. Anyway, the bottom line is...
I need to catch my breath, you talk.
You found it quite useful. Michael it's open to anybody who can prepare to go up and get themselves hooked up to the system. And Michael is top class pro and will come up with a system to help sort you out.
Yes, and I don't think you would do it very often.
I wonder, is it only good players who go and do it?
Clearly.
But you know what I mean? You know, is it only sort of top level players that go up and try that? I must ask, next time you're going up, ask him what sort of people he gets through.
But it can help everybody, right?
Yeah.
Now, it costs a bit more than your average lesson,
not
right?
just a lesson, yeah.
And it takes 20 minutes to set it all up and get you ready, and then you do a few swings, and then... So basically, it's a very high-tech teaching tool.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Michael will obviously look at all the stats.
Yeah.
And he'll go, okay, you know, there's probably 2 or 3 things here that we should really work on.
Yeah.
Now, you're not going to be able to do it all.
No.
It would take you...
Because there's 70 odd
bits of data. But he would pick out 2 or 3 things, and then you'd work on those. And then you'd maybe go away for a month or 2.
Yeah, go back.
Work on the drills, and then come back in a couple of months, maybe do another one of those sessions
get
and
your
go...
stick man up again.
Get your stick man up and go, there's been improvement there. That
very good.
You know what I mean?
Interesting. No, it is interesting. And tell you what else is interesting. That a pro in this part of the world has it.
Yep.
I see they're investing in their coaching up here.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely are.
Yep.
Good to see.
Andrew Morris Golf now offers 12 months interest-free credit on everything bought online and in store. New golf clubs or that electric trolley you've been dreaming of for as little as £30 per month. Drive the extra mile to drive away happy. Check out andrewmorrisgolf.com for full terms and conditions. Andrew Morris Golf on the web and at Laganview Golf Centre, Lambeg.
Right, and that's it for Golf Podcast episode number 41.
Indeed.
We are done and dusted. Thank you for listening. What's coming up then?
Next week, I think, Marsh, we're going to have our first competition of the year.
Oh yes, next time we're on.
In conjunction with Golf Now. It's great to see them supporting us again this year.
Yes, Golf Now very kindly offered us some prizes again this year, so we'll do our first competition in the next episode. Between now and then, the Honda Classic's on.
Mm-hmm. I think Rory's due to play in that one, isn't he?
Yep, the WGC in Mexico.
I think he's talking about not playing in that.
They can't do them all.
Zika.
And on the European Tour, the Qatar Masters and the Tushwani Open.
Yeah.
So it'll be. If you're still doing your Winter League,
you are a flippin' saint, because I'll tell you what, I haven't hit a golf ball since the 1st or 2nd of January.
Do you see, 1st or 2nd of January?
Yeah.
See this last couple of weeks now, it's been a bit of a pig.
Not good.
So fair play if you're doing your Winter League. Enjoy your golf if you are, and we'll be back again in 2 weeks. Shall we go with our new outro theme tune?
Go for it.
Okay.
Alright, don't touch me. Seawood. Shaking that ass. Shaking that ass. Shaking that ass. Seawood. Shaking that ass.